So here we have the Runcam 2 4K in the box, very natty packaging. We got the Runcam, got the holder which has got the tripod mount in it, and we got a couple of these not very good lens shades. So let's have a look at the actual widget. As you can see, it's very small and dinky, really nice and small. Just two buttons, which is quite annoying. Battery compartment and memory card slot and the USB slot. Tip for getting this out is put a bit of Vaseline around it because it's a real pig to get out. The best way to slide that off to get into the USB is to put your finger in there and give it a shove. But it's very difficult to get off. Word of warning for this thing, the cover, the holder, it's an absolute bastard to get this off. Once it's stuck in there, these things are really, really tight. And personally, I wouldn't use this thing because it's so tight without any further adjustment that it's very difficult to get this off. So generally, I've just stuck a bit of Velcro on the bottom, and that's how I stick it to trains. This is secured with a couple of screws, this thing here, so I've unscrewed that to take it off. Also undo these 4 screws here and take this off, and you've got the innards there, and then you can just use a standing knife or something and cut through the glue that holds the thread. So without that you can't do this. So what you can do here is alter the focus, which is very important for model railways, because usually this is set at a hyperfocal distance of about 1 meter, but we want it much closer for the trains here, so it goes down to about 20 centimeters. So it's going to be somewhere around there. Anyway, we'll check that in a minute. First things first, gas it up. There we go. Then to connect it to the camera by Wi-Fi, you want to press this just for a couple of seconds. Don't press it too long, otherwise it goes into some other mode, and that's the real pain with 2 buttons. So go to connect your camera, and it's going to look for it. It should be there. There it is. Runcam 2 4K SD, that's me. Right, so we can go back to the screen, and it will come up in a second. There we are. And we'll place it over there. And I think I've got the focus about right. A couple of things, photo or video. Let's take a photo, change the photo mode, and it'll take a picture. Go to video mode, and obviously you start shooting. Here we got 4K at 30 frames a second. Along the top, we've got exposure. You can also do exposure values. I generally have a little bit brighter than it should do. There you go. You can change the ISO. It's a bit more saturated feel, even darker, or just let it get on with it. At 3200 ISO, it's still quite a good picture actually. It's not too noisy. There is a bit of noise up there, but it's not too bad. Go back to auto. Shutter speed. This is very useful to change when you've got a fluorescent light source or an LED light source to stop any flickering on it. You can change between 100th and 120th to get rid of the flicker. Saturation, well, wind it up, get bright colours. Oh god, that looks horrible. And wind it down to less saturated. Middle tone's about right. Contrast, again, you can make things look really horrible or soft and washed out. So I'll leave that alone at 6. Sharpness, wind it up to 8. It's quite a nice sharpness. White balance, generally pretty good actually. I'll leave it on auto white balance. If you want something funky, you can try other settings, but generally no need. White balance auto is pretty good. This is the most useful thing. Field of view. You can make it narrow angle, medium angle, or sort of fisheye, which is great. So here we can move it in a bit closer for a more dramatic shot. Something like that. This flip screen is great for upside down shots if you're going to use a remote control model aircraft and you want it slung underneath. Also, I'm probably going to use this for when I have it upside down on an arm sticking out of one of the trains going past. so I can see a use for that. Metering mode, you can have average, multi-pattern, or center weighted, or spot, which is just a tiny little spot in the center. Here also it's got the battery setting on the camera. There you go, one class 55 without the body, and it's plunked on the back. You usually have a bit of Velcro there, so you can rotate it to wherever you want it. And it's got a nice smooth ride, this, and it doesn't wobble about too much. It's got big heavy weight there, so it's a great idea. Okay, that's just about it. Now that we've seen that, let's have a look at some of the shots I've been able to do with this as part of a couple of bigger projects. Hope you enjoyed viewing that, and see you soon. Bye.